I'm Devora with Equator Coffees, and we're gonna brew a French press. French press, also called press pot, is a unique way to brew coffee. This full immersion brewer is a little different than other types of brewers. The water and coffee have contact the whole time, and there's no paper filter. So the resulting brew is really strong and rich. You taste the coffee oils on your mouth. I really like this style of French press because it's double walled and insulated, which keeps your coffee hot while it's brewing. And I like that it's big enough to make coffee to share with friends. To brew a French press, I need French press, fresh ground coffee. I've ground it coarse, but not as coarse as my grinder will go. Scale and timer, and a spoon to make sure all your coffee gets evenly saturated with water. For this French press, I'm going to be brewing at a 1:15 ratio, and I want to brew a full pot. So I've got 45 grams of coffee, and I'm going to be adding 675 grams of water. Step 1 is preheat the French press. I'm just adding a little bit of water, just enough to start to warm up my French press. This is really important if you're using a single-walled glass or plastic French press because you'll lose a lot of heat while you're brewing. Just let it sit about 30 seconds. Go ahead and discard that rinse water. I've got my warm French press ready to go. I'm adding 45 grams of fresh ground coffee. Tare my scale, and I'm adding all the water at once. I've got a gooseneck kettle, but you really don't need one. Any vessel to heat your water is fine. You just want to get your water in quickly. I'm adding all the water at once. We're going right up to 675, brewing a full pot of coffee. Once my water's in, start the timer. We're going to give it a minute. Put the lid on for heat retention. The coffee grounds will rise to the top. That's sort of like the bloom in a French press. At 1 minute, I remove the lid. Use the spoon to push down that crust that's formed, making sure all my coffee grounds are saturated. Don't need to mix too much, just want to make sure they're all in the water. Cap again for heat retention. Wait till 4 minutes and you're done. Super easy. I really like a medium to medium dark roast on a French press. I think they extract really well, and you get to taste the nice oils because of the lack of paper filter. I'm using mocha java today. That's going to be a nice, strong cup of coffee. I'm using water off the boil to brew my French press. 205 degrees is great if you've got a kettle that'll show you the temperature. Otherwise, just give it a minute after you bring your water to a boil on the stovetop. French press is a little bit of a set it and forget it game. That's why I love it. I can totally make coffee like this while I'm making breakfast. At 4 minutes, simply plunge the French press. Slow and steady, don't want to splash. And your coffee's ready to serve. Like I said, I made enough to share.